I don't know about you, but I legit just want to say that if I was Jing Jing and a dude cut me off the way you two did after everything I did for him over the years, I mean, this girl chased him in high school. She confessed to him. She was the one that reached out to him again. If when they grew up, and she's the one that has literally been making all the efforts after everything. How I have literally put down my pride and ran after this dude. If I was the one who was rejected the way you two rejected JJ, man, you had better get a pen and start writing those letters, because that is the only way you'll be able to contact me after that. I will block you every single way. Okay? Let's get that straight. Hey everyone, my name is Deborah, and I decided to try something new today. So normally I make a video of my first impression or second impression and things like that, but I'm too lazy. So today we're just going to do an audio and make it like a podcast but on YouTube. So hopefully you don't mind. Let me know what you think of this once you watch it and tell me if you like it. But I wanted to come here and just give you my second impression of You're My Glory. I just finished episode 17 and 18, and if you follow me on Twitter, there you'll see like my actual live reactions, because I tweet as I watch. But if you're not following me on Twitter, then you're in for a treat, because I am here to basically tell you how I felt about those episodes. So go ahead and grab your tea mugs and your ice cream. Actually, let's change it. Let's call this ice ramen. Grab your ice creams in this case and come along with me on this journey as we discuss You're My Glory, my second impression. Let's go. I really love how supportive they are of each other. Even when the other isn't there, they back each other up and they stand up for each other. Kind of like how you two try to ensure that his friend had a good image of Jing Jing and the ex-girlfriend wouldn't say trash about Jing Jing, and he stood up for her in his own way. And how Jing Jing, for me, Jing Jing not telling her team about her breakup with you two. While yes, it is her personal business, she doesn't need to reveal it to them and all that. However, just the fact that Jing Jing is still allowing them to think she's on good terms with you two and that everything's fine between them is, to me, a sign of the fact that, one, she might be sad, she may be disappointed in him and all that jazz, but she doesn't want them to have a negative view of you two, number one. So that's her way of protecting him without him even knowing and stuff, and just being conscious of his feelings. But also, it's a sign of her avoiding the issue. It's like a psychological thing where she's avoided it, so it doesn't really exist and she can move on. But avoidance isn't always the solution, which tells me there's still some hope. Like, she hasn't 100% cut him off just for the fact that she hasn't told them, you know what, I don't want to hear anything about you two anymore. This is it. We're over. It's done. Don't talk about him anymore. Is for me a sign that, yeah, right now their relationship is in limbo, but YouTube still has a chance. So that's something I really, really like that was done in this drama. I really like how, like I said, they were really supportive of each other. Like, I just loved his sincere joy in seeing her basically play the game, excel in the game. Like, the pride he had in her just doing her thing and excelling in her field was just a beauty to behold. I love how protective she was of him when he came on the stage and she was trying to watch out for him. That's something I really, really appreciated. In stuff like, these people, literally, they're so perfect together because they're always watching out for each other without each other even realizing what they're doing. Like, bruh. How much more obvious can it be that you guys I really, really love that. Something else I have really enjoyed watching is just the growth of the characters, not just the characters, but the actors that are acting this drama. I mean, we need to give props to Yang Yang. Yang Yang has done such a great job with YouTube, because YouTube in the book is someone that, like I stated in my first impression, I really did not feel that much for. But Yang Yang's expressions and the way he has taken YouTube and made himself YouTube has really helped me fall in love with YouTube, the character, understand his struggles, and really grow with him, which is testament to Yang Yang's acting. He does such a great job at expressing with his eyes. I can't say it enough. He does such an insanely good job. And there's something he does with his size, which I'll get into in more detail later, but I absolutely love that. Dilraba, yes, her character is a character that is lively, is bubbly, has mostly things together, so there isn't room for like individual character growth. However, you need to give her props too for her acting, if not for anything, but for that one breakup scene. The range of emotions, from joy to shock to surprise to disappointment to anger to just not caring anymore. Like, the range of emotions she showed within seconds was insane. Okay? I'm like, dude, if you're gonna talk about Raba's acting, I feel like even if she doesn't do anything else the rest of this drama, just that one scene is enough to carry her acting this entire drama. That one scene was insanely good. Props to her. If anyone says Dilraba cannot act, just show her this video. Show her that video, because she slayed in that one scene. That was beautiful and perfection in terms of execution. So I definitely enjoyed that. Now, like I said, I'll go more into details on the symbolisms in a bit. However, this episodes, like episode 9 and 10, were preparing us for the impending doom, and then 11 and 12, and then 13 and 14, and then the heartbreak comes in and we have to go through the pain and all. It was really sad, but the actors did a good job of carrying us along, where we could see both perspectives and understand both perspectives, see where both sides are coming from. And that was what sucked, because we could see both sides. So we were team nobody but ourselves. I'm like, I ain't team you, I'm team me. However, like, you need to understand that the characters don't see each other's perspectives. Like, they understand each other, but they're not in each other's world. And so the way they'll react, things are different. And hence, like, when you think about it from, let's say, Jingjing's perspective and blind yourself to Yutu's perspective, you're on her side. And if you blind yourself to Jingjing's perspective and you only see Yutu's perspective, you're on his side. But when you see both perspectives, you're on everyone's side. You're like, y'all just need to get it together and get together. So that was a really beautiful execution by the director. I really loved how the first 8 episodes were focused on Jingjing's life, and then this second batch of 8 episodes were mainly focused on Yutu's life. So we got a greater view of his perspective and what his life was like and what he was going through. I know some of you may have found the aerospace scenes, like engineering scenes, boring and stuff, but that's the point. I feel like that was the point they were trying to sell you. Because you remember how Yutu once had this conversation with Jingjing about not being able to reveal his job information to her, and she talked about how that's boring, they won't have anything to discuss. I feel like that's the entire point of us seeing how boring his life is. Like, his life is so boring that he needs a Jingjing in it to brighten it up. That's the point, people. That's it. Literally, that's the whole reason they should be together. Obviously, I'm just joking. That's one of the reasons. But anyways, that's something I really love. So I actually appreciated those scenes. I didn't have an issue with them. I know some people may have issues with those scenes. I personally didn't. I really did enjoy them. All right, now that those things are out of the way, something else I really loved is how U2 had a supportive system. He had a supportive friend. And we see how once he leaves where he stays and goes back to his roots, he is told by his family how proud they are of him. That helps him start gaining that confidence he needed to begin rethinking his relationship with her. Because remember, it's after his mom tells him how proud she is of him that he has the courage to tell his mom, hey, there's someone I like who doesn't know how to take care of people, but she's very beautiful and stuff. And then that's where he then travels on the walk trip that everything after that begins to happen. So everything after that, I mean, when he finally begins to seriously consider being in a relationship with her. And we see that in the scene where, okay, he's listening to her calls, he's missing her and all that jazz. And then during the storm, he actually, even numerous times when people refer to Jinjing as his girlfriend, when his teammate refers to Jinjing as his girlfriend, he doesn't deny that she's his girlfriend, right? In the shower, he doesn't deny it either. And then he sits down and we see him sitting down in the middle of a storm, so symbolic of the storm that was going through his head and his heart at that moment, and seriously consider the pros and cons of being with Jinjing, right? Right after that, what do we see? We see a moon that's literally eclipsed, but less than halfway eclipsed by the dark storm, which to me represents his heart and where U2 was at that time. Like, at that point in time, he has passed the halfway mark, and he is past the halfway mark of being convinced of being with Jinjing, but he isn't fully there. All he needed was that extra push. And right after that, we get that extra push. Right after the moon scene, we get the extra push where Guanzai calls him and basically helps him realize that, hey, it's not that I didn't realize that all these things I've been thinking of as basically walls and hurdles to our relationship are literally not hurdles. And I always knew this. I just didn't accept it. So it's not that I didn't realize it. I just never accepted it. But Guanzai helps him get what all these people have to say. What matters is me and her. What matters is us. We are the two in this relationship, not these extra people out there. And I know that she can handle it. She knows I can handle it. So why not give this a go? And he finally accepts and decides to give it a go, because prior to that moment, we had seen all the walls being broken down, all the hurdles the foundation had already been prepared for you to come in to accept this decision. Because like he said, it's not like he didn't realize it. He realized it. It's accepting that was the issue. Because we saw the journey of him coming to realize what he had done wrong and how wrong he was in how he was thinking of the relationship. We saw it begin with his conversation with his boss and how his professor was basically telling him, dude, no matter how much money you make, even if you get paid more, you cannot make more than this girl, like, in your lifetime. So just forget it. That was his first realization. And then he went and he had the whole conversation with his ex, where his ex basically threw what he suspected society would throw at him, saying he's not worthy of Jinjing anymore right now. He's not up to par to her, or he is basically hugging her thighs because she has money, so obviously he's depending on her. His ex-girlfriend threw that card at him, and he handled it beautifully, might I add, perfectly. And so he had already crossed that hurdle of what society may say, and he had handled it beautifully, so he knew he could handle that. two main hurdles that he needed to cross, right? Next, he goes through the realization of how this girl fought to basically made numerous efforts to try and get close to him, right from the past to the present. How she told him numerous times, look here, I don't care about your money, I don't care about this, all I care about is you. How she had supported him from the beginning. It's always been her that has supported him. He realized all that and he's like, dang, I have effed up, officially effed up, like dang, you too. So he had all this realization moments prior to this. So we can't say he didn't know. He had been going through the motions of it, and his experiences with the people around him were revealing these things to him and helping him see things clearer. However, he hadn't come to the point of acceptance. And so that was what happened at the end of the day when he had the conversation with Gwanzai, where he's like, dude, I realized this. I just had not yet come to accept it. But now I have accepted it. And then we see him actually start making the effort to chase her, because all this while she's been the one chasing him, which I just feel is the most beautiful thing ever. I want to touch on in terms of like the symbolism. Well, let's start with the light and darkness and how it has been used so much in this drama. Yutu is in the dark while Xiao Jingjing is in the light. And we see that in numerous instances. Number one, in the type of clothes they wear. We see Yutu dressed in really dark colors while she's dressed in really bright, vibrant colors. However, like, one scene that I really want to address the symbolism and where it really stood out to me is the scene of the breakup. That wasn't really a breakup because they were dating, but the scene where she confesses to him the second time and he rejects her. So number one, let's start from when they're in the car. I absolutely love how when they were in the car, you could see that Jingjing could feel something was wrong with him. However, she tried her best to cheer him up, thinking, no, it's not something else. It's because he's going back to the aerospace industry. And so she's trying to cheer him up. She feels he's sleeping from her, but she's in denial because she feels she knows this dude. They have spent so long together. He can't possibly do her wrong or not understand her enough to make the wrong decision about the two of them being together, right? And so she tries her best to keep him with her. First by suggesting going to Ling Jie's place to eat, and then also suggesting giving him a ride home, but he rejects her offer and steps out from her car that was beneath the lights and walks into the darkness. Literally leaves her lights to the darkness. Like, who does that? Anyways, he walks into the darkness and we see how Jingjing comes out of the light and literally runs into the darkness after him, which to me blew my mind for various reasons, because one, it shows how fearless she is in her attempts to be with him, but it also symbolizes how, yes, she sees the darkness he's in, but she's willing to walk with him in that darkness and shine her light on him and share the light she has with him and walk through that path with him. She's very fearless about that, but also just the fact that she's a celebrity. However, she was not even bothered about being photographed or being seen by people, and she just ran after him. It showcases how much, for Jingjing, all she cares about is Yutu. She doesn't care about the bright lights and other people's opinions, etc and etc. All she cares about is Yutu. So that's something that really stood out to me. Now, obviously, when they finally broke up, oh my goodness, the acting from both parties, Dilraba and Yang was stellar. Like, if I was giving out Oscars, I will give both of them Oscars for that scene. For the way we could see his pain, the irony, how you could see that feeling of he was trying to run away from her, but she ran to him. He was unable to run away from the responsibility or from the situation of facing the fact that she might have feelings for him, and he has to address that. So he was trying to run away from that, but then he realized that no matter how he runs, Jinjing will always come after him. Jinjing came after him in the past, and Jinjing came after him again, and the irony wasn't lost on him, which is why we see him smile, and then he takes that deep breath before he turns around, which is something that really drives me crazy with Yang Yang's acting in this drama. Those deep breaths he takes at important moments to signify like the weight on him, and what he's about to do is insane acting for me, right? And then he turns around and he can't even look at her to break her heart, because it's not like he doesn't know that Jinjing loves him. It's not like he doesn't realize that Jinjing doesn't look down on him. It's not that he doesn't realize that Jinjing basically is not burdened by what everyone else thinks or might think about your relationship. It's not Jinjing that's the problem. It's him! It's that he is trying to protect her from what society might say, because he feels she shouldn't be put through all that. What he fails to realize is she is a celebrity who has been through so much. Like, do you know what it takes to be a celebrity, and like the things people say about you? All that won't bug her. She is willing and ready to go into it. That's something he fails to see at that point. So he tries to push her away to protect her, which is something YouTube does a lot of, where he protects the people closest to him and takes all the burdens on himself. He holds everyone's hands, but no one holds his hand, or he pushes away the person that's trying to hold his hand because he thinks he's doing something that might protect them by pushing them away. Well, he's wrong. However, it's the sad reality of his perspective and of his world. And the only way he thinks he can protect her is by pushing her away. So that scene was absolutely touching, absolutely stellar acting. I adored that scene. And then when she finally realizes that, dude, when he rejects her and she looks up into the sky, like the sky that I have looked towards has never looked at me, and she turns around and leaves. Fam. Like I said, stellar acting from both parties. I definitely, it was heartbreaking, but I enjoyed it for the great acting that was delivered. Like, I knew what was coming, but they definitely brought me everything I needed in that scene. So I really appreciate it. Something else that is really symbolic is his relationship with his best friend. I really like how it showcases how, hey, YouTube has this friend that's on his team. This friend that literally supports him and is a supportive system. But he doesn't listen to that one friend in the midst of the 1,000 other friends out there that are saying bad things about him and society's opinions about him, which is really reflective of society right now, and how we tend to focus more on social media's opinions on our lives than the opinions of the people closest to us who know us best. So that's something else that really did stand out to me. This light and darkness representation when he is in the midst of her team and we see him black and everyone around him is white. How he is basically, he stands in the center of them and he looks over them like he's in the dark and they're in the light, while he reflects on the fact that he doesn't feel like he fully belongs there. He is proud of everything that he is seeing, but he feels like he is the odd one out in the midst of all of them and shouldn't be there. Almost like an imposter syndrome kind of thing. So there's a whole bunch of that in this drama, but I also really love the subtleties, like the little actions, like when Jing Jing is nervous, how she like uses her fingernails to pick at her phone, like the side of her phone, or how she basically chews at the tip of her clothing, and how Yutu basically sighs or grabs onto things when he is trying to control himself. Guys, it's the little things that literally drive me insane in this drama, in a good way, obviously. Yeah, that is all I have for you all today. Let me know what your favorite scene was or is so far with all the episodes that were out this week. What was your favorite scene? What was your least favorite scene? Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know if you like this like podcasty review vibe. If you do like it, I'm probably gonna do more, but if you don't like it, then we'll just stick with the video. But like I said, I was just lazy. So yeah, don't forget to give this video a like, share if you like it so others can find it, or just hit that like button. It is 100% free. Share and subscribe and keep being the awesome beautiful people you are. From me to you all, you know, I've got nothing but love for you all. Stay awesome. Goodbye.